and there's no viewers, no subscribers, and but that's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to do a behind the scenes or after takes like Trevor Noah, just to talk a bit with you guys, my subscribers, the farmers, just to get how you guys feel. Where do you think we should be heading with this channel? What do you guys want to see in future? What do you think? What are the grounds that we need to break? Do you think that we must get a second voice to our channel? Me getting a second person to anchor this, considering getting a film crew and stuff like that, just professionalizing things a bit. But that will be maybe in the near future. But I don't see anybody here yet. So I'm just talking to myself. I'd have loved to have a conversation with some of you guys, my subscribers, just to pick your mind, man. Pick your mind. It's been a tough month thus far. It's been a tough journey thus far. To get to 1,000 subscribers has not been easy. I'm sure I have people who are subscribed who don't really watch the videos. I have people who my biggest viewership are still my non-subscribed people. They come here, they watch the videos, they head home and don't click that subscription button, but that's fine. I've been thinking of creating a website. I don't know, I'll probably have to get somebody to help me create that website. Create a website where we can put all our content, as to one day, if anything happens that we end up becoming demonetized or we get banned from YouTube, you guys can still access the information in the education that I've given. I'm actually in the process of trying to set up a business in agriculture. Before I got into this YouTube thing, I was doing agricultural consultation, even though I wasn't really getting paid for it. It was quite crazy. Some people would have loved to exploit me. People used to love to exploit me in that business. I tried my hardest to really try and make a major difference in the agricultural sector, but unfortunately, it's just a dog-eat-dog world. Unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves today. So I've been thinking, how can we grow this platform? How can we make it much more, investor-friendly? How can we make it much more, get people to come on board and do some investments, probably come and just assist its growth, because I think we're sitting on a golden egg right now. I think I'm sitting on something very big, and I think it can grow. Who do I always try to mirror myself to? Who do I look at when I mirror myself? I see I got somebody watching me. I see there's somebody watching. Someone has joined me here. So I just want to say hi, good evening. If you could just hit me up, then tell me what's your name and who's watching me there. But like I said, look, who do I mirror? Who do I watch? Who do I study? Who do I look at? What am I trying to achieve with this channel? I'm trying to do what, in other words, Podcast and Chill has done. That's what I want to do. Podcast and Chill is really my inspiration. There are a couple. There's Podcast and Chill. There's Virtual Mkuku. There's Joe Rogan, Joe Biden. All these guys, what they've been doing is what has really gotten me interested to say, let me give this YouTube thing a go. Let's see how far we can get it. And it's been slow. I won't lie. It hasn't been overnight success, as most people would say. Nothing like overnight success would have to. I've had to build it slowly. 8 years of building this channel to a point where now we are where we are. I think we just, how do I say, we're at the bottom of the mountain. Mountain's still up here. We still need to climb. We're still on the ground, sea level. So we still need to go up. So I watch a lot of those guys, and I like what they do, and I like how they go about setting up their YouTube channels, what they've achieved thus far, the collaborations they've brought in. That's what I'd love to do with this one. Eventually get maybe two voices, including myself, 3 extra voices on this channel beside myself, get other people involved. I know many of you guys, the subscribers, have been calling for farm visits. That's something that I'm busy working on the pipeline. Setting up this old shack of mine, which is my gym room. This old shack of mine to become my studio. Maybe in 5-6 years from now, I'll be sitting down talking to people how I started off in a shack. Like, what is this? Like the great stories of the Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Walter Disney. They all started in a garage, but I'm in a basement. So in a few years' time, this would probably be a major studio, maybe in future. But I see I have one viewer. Good evening. drop me a text there. Who's out there, who's talking to me. Well done, well done. You do great work. Thanks, my dear brother, Mr. Hoveka. So it's been a journey. I'm sorry, man. You probably put that a while there, and I'm just seeing it now. Well, thanks, brother. Thanks a lot. Thanks for that word of encouragement. It's been a journey, like I said. I think I said it in my last live when I was on this live on YouTube with many of you guys. I'm doing it on zero budget. I'm running this platform on zero budget. I've had to build it. I utilize my tablet to do our recordings. I do my own research. I compile literally this book. This is what I'm using now to compile all my research. It's almost full. I have a box back there, which is full of agricultural journals of everything that I've done, research that I've been doing for the last 8 years or so. 80 years or so. I filled in so many books. Let me show you this box. There it is. Okay, wait, sorry, it's covered. That box. This one over here. This box over here. This is all the journals that I've done. I filled up all these little books. All agricultural information based on what we've been up to. Let me just flip the camera back around to myself. Multitasking. So yeah, no, as I said, I got that box back there, which is full of all my agricultural journals, every research that I've done, every topic that I've looked at, cattle, goats, sheep, plants, fish. We even did a fish farming thing. I'd love to get into that business, build a pond, maybe in Katima or here in Windhoek, because it looks like there could be money to be made in that business also. But I think it all just starts with funding. Funding is the biggest thing, and that's what I keep on telling people. Like, agriculture is a good thing, farming is a good thing, but it requires funding. You can't achieve anything without funding. You need to have funding, because we know land in my country, Mr. Oveka, you would know this also, being a Namibian, is quite expensive. It's not cheap here. I was talking to one, I can call him a real estate agent. I was talking to him today, and there's one farm that's going for 7 million. There's another one that goes for 9 million. So they are quite expensive, They're not as cheap as they were back in the day. Land has become so expensive in this country. So now you're left with either trying to farm in your village, and I know our situations in many villages in this country is that they're overcrowded, too many people on a piece of land. Maybe let's say, not 1,000, maybe let's say 4,000 to 5,000 hectare village with so many families and cattle on those places, so it's a bit difficult. This is why you have to do it on small scale, or they call it small, but it's small holding farming, which economically doesn't do the proper scales, because if you're taking a loan that's of 2 million Namibian dollars and you're just keeping 50 goats, it's going to take you time to repay that. So you need to maximize your profits, and sometimes what that leads to is trying to buy a farm, rent a farm, apply for resettlement land, which is another issue, and get land to try and do some large scale farming. My sister is here. Thanks, Ross. Thank you very much, and also thank you to Mr. Oveka for congratulating me for 1,000 subscribers. It's a journey. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Like I said, I started this 8 years ago on zero budget. I don't really have a working budget. I've been fortunate enough to have equipment such as what I'm using right now, which is my tablet. When I started, if you look at some of my very old videos, you'd see that I was using my cell phone, which was my Samsung Galaxy, the small little Samsung Galaxy with a button in the middle. That's what I was using. Some of those old videos which were not clear, but that's where it started. And then the tablet came in, it took over. iPhone, Samsung, and all the phones started taking over. But it's basically just been a hell of a ride. I went from utilizing my headphones, you can see they're old, they're busy breaking apart, I've had them for a while now, to buying a mic, which also didn't work that well, to just some of our old videos, you can see I was just talking to the tablet. It has its own built-in speakers, microphones. So sometimes they didn't catch sound. So I know there's some videos that are terrible. I know I went back and watched some of my old videos. I had a good laugh and I had a little tear in my eye because I was like, this is where it all started. This is where this channel started from there, building it all the way. Because I remember, and actually, funny enough, my sister who's here, Ross Limbo, she's running a YouTube channel. You must also go check it out. If you want to learn anything on mental health, mental well-being, hit up a channel called Colors and Comments. You must check her out also. She's doing some great things. She's really doing some great things on her channel, and I like what she's doing. I'm liking the fact that as Namibians, we are starting to do more YouTube channels besides just YouTube channels of us drinking and partying and chilling and makeup and all this type of things. We're trying to do other versions of YouTube to show YouTube that we are also content creators. We need our own YouTube offices. Right now in Namibia, if you want to get paid, you have to register a YouTube channel under South Africa because they have a YouTube office. We don't have one. So we have to continue pushing. So Mr. Oveka, I would love to see you one day also join the YouTube channel. I know my sister Ross is here. Her and I, the two of us are the content creators in the family. But I'd love to see more people getting there. And I'd love to subscribe to more Namibian YouTubers, just because we're exporting Namibia out there to the world. And I think we need to do that more and more and more. So we can one day build YouTube channels as big as the South African ones, Podcast and Chill, run by MacG and Saul and Ghost Lady. And then you have Virtual Nkuku run by DJ Sibu, which is big inspiration for me. This is what made me decide to say, I have a YouTube channel. Let me actually get busy. Let me get back to work. Let me roll up my sleeves and do the content. And I know I've had some subscribers come in there and be like, Mitchell, your reading is terrible. And sometimes I'll tell the subscribers, guys, what you do not know sometimes, is I do my own research, number one. And when I'm researching, I'm taking someone's words and I'm trying to make them my words. That's the first part. The second part is some of these videos are shot late at night. There's a video that I shot at 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. I'm going to bed at 3 because I just finished doing research. So much information has to be looked at. So much information has to be collected. And then you have to come do your vlog. And then from there, you got to do the uploading of it, and depending on your internet, if your internet is very good, strong signals, it's fast. If it's terrible, it can take you 2 to 3 days to upload. And also, depending on the instrument you're using to upload, if you're using your computer or your laptop, you have to keep an eye on it so it stays on. Computer, if it switches off, the computer at least is a bit better, but the laptop has a snooze, automatic snooze button, so it switches itself off. So sometimes uploading can take a day or two. And those who are uploading via their phones, I used to do my videos here and I used to upload them from my phone, and it can take 3-4 days. And remember, the phone, you're still getting phone calls, you still need to respond to people, you need to respond to emails, which is crazy. Hey, it's a lot of work. So you really just need to find something that works for you. I have a couple of friends that have come through and said I need to work on my background. They don't like the background. And I keep on telling them that I'm doing my recordings in my gym room. This is my shack, my what do you call this? The basement / gym / office. As you can see, I got my what do you call this? I got my table back here set up, my workstation. I don't know if you can see it. That's my workstation, and an old noisy chair. I see Ross is saying TN mobile surfing at night is great for uploading. Yeah, it is, eh? I won't lie. Sorry, Ross, it is. The only problem that you have is, like I said, when I'm utilizing my laptop, I have to make sure that my laptop stays on as it's uploading. Because if it switches off, the uploading stops. It doesn't automatically upload in the background, which is a headache, which is really just an exhausting thing. But, yeah, no, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a millionaire. I won't be saying, get into it. I've become rich out of this. No, I feel like YouTube should just be a stepping stone, and it must push you into other venues. If you are in the agricultural space like myself, I should utilize the YouTube platform to get my name out there, to get invited to conferences, talk to agricultural conferences, talk to the young people. Because I know our government is currently saying youth involvement in agriculture, we need more young people. And I agree. Look, I'm always going to advocate for more young people, guys who are younger than me, 18, 21, even 17. If we could get a 15-year-old farmer, I'd be extremely happy. I know in South Africa there's the 9-year-old guy who's doing the agricultural thing. Young guy, he's really an inspiration to many people. And that's what I'd love to see. But the reality is, not all of us are going to be that fortunate. Eh? We build the planes as we fly in it. I see you, my brother. Marco, good to see you, man. Good to see that you're here. Yeah, no. We will build the planes as we fly in it, but we need to. You need to do the preparation first. That's why that was my mindset behind this channel, is to say, at a point, many young people were asking me, they were like, look, Mitch, I want to get into farming. I want to get into this business. It looks interesting. It looks, there's money there. Most of them would say the monetary return is one of the biggest reasons why they want to get into it. But then they said they didn't know. What led me to create this channel was when myself and my old man, my dad, we started farming in 2010, when we got a piece of land, which we were renting here on the southern side, not in the northern side, on the southern side of the country, in the Omaheke. We didn't know where to go to. We made mistakes. We bought a bull that was infertile. We bought cattle that came and had miscarriages. We made so many mistakes. And then I sat down and I said, at least the fortunate part was we were fortunate enough to have, I was fortunate enough to have my dad occupying a very good position, which was paying him well, so he could always take those knocks and absorb them. But there are other people who might not be in those same situations as myself. You take a loan right now, you mess up, you have to pay that loan back, but all the cattle are dead. So I said, you know what? Let me create a YouTube channel, because it started off, before this YouTube channel started, it started off on radio. I used to work on radio back in the day. I used to work on a radio station known as Base FM, which is, in Namibia, it was called KC. It had a lot of names, KCR, Katutura Community Radio Station, then it went to Base FM. I worked there, I think it was 2013, where I had my agricultural show. They gave me a slot every weekend, every Saturday. I used to wake up at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock I'm up, 5 I'm on air, 6 I'm done, 7 o'clock I'm done, I'm off there. So that's where it all started, and then I had some friends, just like some of my Namibians, as you know, Namibians don't just live in the country, some live outside the country. I had some friends saying, look, Mitch, we love what you're doing, we can't watch your content. Consider putting it on Facebook or Facebook Live, or put it on YouTube. First, I tried the Facebook Live. There's some videos of me on Facebook, agricultural shows, where I was interviewing people talking about agriculture. I know I did one where I interviewed a Nguni farmer from the Kauta family. I interviewed him talking about the Nguni farming, how they're going about that. And it did well for a time, but then my time on radio came to an end. And then one friend of mine said, look, okay, Facebook's good, but YouTube, at least that video, we can come back and watch it 6, 7 years from now, even 10 years from now. We can always come back to it. So then I decided to create this channel 8 years ago, and I created it right around the time we were having the land conference in Namibia. We were having our second land conference, where they were trying to sort out the land issue, and that's when people were talking about ancestral land claims, historical facts, and some people were skewing the history books. Like, I know some of my friends, not friends, but some people I was following on social media, Twitter at that time. I think I'd also just joined Twitter at that time. We're trying to obscure the history of Namibia, trying to say, look, the Germans never bought land. The Germans took the land, they stole land, which I do agree, they stole some land, but some land our traditional leaders gave them, or sold to them, or whatever, gave them as good grace, whatever they did. So some people were trying to argue that. And then I remember I approached NBC Television, which is our biggest television and radio station in the country. And I told them, look, we have this land conference going on. Why are we not having, beside what's being spoken at the land conference, why are we not having conversation with people in the agricultural sector, historians, scholars, financiers, bankers, to talk about the land issue, to say, look, what's the best way of going about this land issue? What about the people that say, yes, the land was taken from us, which we can agree, because a lot of land in Africa was taken from people. But what about those people that sold or gave the land to the white men, because the white men probably came and gave them medicine or helped them with something? So you're giving, as Africans, we give things in return for something given. So then I said, why are we not having these shows? And then the producer at NBC, I remember her, I won't mention her name, she said, no, the land conference and the land issue in Namibia is too politicized. So we won't talk about it, because we will make somebody angry. Maybe it's a traditional authority or politician or business people. So then I said, okay, you guys don't want to talk about it. And I spoke to my dad. I'm like, I approached some people. They don't want me to have this on their airways. And then my father was like, Namibia, we're just so captured. We don't even want to talk about anything that shakes the wallet, the pot where we get our food from. So then he said, no, go on to you. He didn't really say go on to YouTube. He just said, no, we're captured. And then I thought, let me go on to YouTube. And I created my channel. If you go watch some of my very, very old videos, the first ones, you will see us interviewing people in the agricultural sector about the land conference, what's happening in the land conference, what do we think about it, how will it affect farmers if we start expropriating land without compensation in this country, what exactly do they think about the land conference, are they willing to share land? Many of them came through, gave their honest opinion, some spoke about it, some gave me very harsh realities telling me, look, Mitchell, the realities of our country, not all the land in this country is arable for farming. Not all the land you can keep cattle or goats or even plant. The desert. You can't really plant anything there unless you try and figure out a way. And one way is we can actually try to push our agricultural sector to get everybody have a piece of land is by trying to turn the desert green. And I'm sure there'll be, what do they call this? There'll be environmentalists that'll come against that and be like, no, we don't want to have the desert turn green. We want the desert to remain the way it is. Because I know there was talks in the media that they were planning to build a train that goes through the desert, and people were like, nah, we don't want that. So that's what led me to create this YouTube channel. And if you go watch some of those older videos, you'll hear some of the farmers, not just myself, but I was interviewing farmers via my cell phone, and they were giving their opinion on what they think the agricultural sector should be like and what they think should happen. Government is sitting on lots of land. There are also some white people sitting on lots of land, some land they don't really utilize, very big farms, and they're not willing to share, and that's the unfortunate part. But, that happens when you have a free market system, as they say, capitalist market system. So it causes all those issues. And then I said, okay, I have this YouTube channel. Let's turn it into an educational channel, because what I'm doing on this YouTube channel, I used to do it on Facebook. I never used to go live. I have a couple of what do they call this, pages, groups on Facebook that I created, where I used to take hours writing articles on cattle breeds, various cattle breeds, goats, sheep, and so forth, and chickens. And then with time, that platform, when people join a platform, it becomes, there are too many people, it starts becoming highly politicized, it started becoming an argument amongst people. And then you say, you know what, I'll leave that, because at least I created a community there, and that's what you want to do. You want to create a community. Let me move on. And the next step was YouTube, and I came to YouTube. I started doing my videos. My videos have been up on this YouTube platform for a while. It's been, eight years now, 8 years that I've been on this platform. And it took me 8 years to get to 1,000 subscribers. Some people will say it's been long, some people say it's been short, some have waited a bit longer. But I know my sister Ross there has been telling me that at least you're consistent. And I always listen to the bigger YouTube platforms. I watch YouTube videos and so forth, and they always say you need to be consistent. But sometimes it does take a toll. I won't lie. There were times where I just felt like I should delete the channel. It's not getting where I want it to be. You're doing close to 100 videos and you just have 30 subscribers, and 2 views or 10 views. And you're there like, it's not really moving, so probably let me delete it. This is not for me, this is for someone else. But I've just kept going, I've kept going. My sister Ross has always been pushing me. Some of the people have been some of the friends that I've met via YouTube also who comment, some guys in South Africa. I don't know if they're here. I don't know if my brother Becky Zulu is here. I don't know, but I'm not sure he's here. A couple of guys have been there with me, man. At the point where I had like 67 subscribers, it was mostly South Africans, and they always came through. I hear you, it's hard. That's where I am now. It's hard. No, it's hard work, Ross. It's hard work, and you literally putting yourself outside there. Literally, as other people don't really sit down and think about it. When you come onto YouTube, you are exposing yourself to the world. You're saying, here I am Mitchell Mutumba Simata. This is what I'm doing, and people are going to scrutinize. And that's the thing, and that's what people don't understand. And the craziest part is, Ross, the craziest part of my YouTube channel is this. As much as it's a Namibian YouTube channel, my biggest support comes from outside Namibia. It's quite crazy. At a point, like right now I'm 1,000 subscribers. Those 1,000 subscribers are Namibians now. They've overtaken. But at the point where I had like 100-something, all those 100-something are all South Africans. It was quite very interesting when, like I said, I met guys like Becky Zulu and other gentlemen here on YouTube who subscribed, and they're all South Africans, and they were subscribing, and they were like, look, we want to support you. So one guy was even trying to invite me to come and speak in their community, and I said, no, look, anytime you guys need me to travel, just let me know. I can come through and I can come speak to you guys about agriculture and the risks of it. And one gentleman was saying, I subscribe to your channel because I'm getting free information. People love getting free stuff. Maybe in future I must consider charging people to get content, because you guys, I'm spoiling you. You're getting content from how to plant tomatoes, garlic, green pepper, things that you have to go either and study or either spend 2-3 days researching, but you're getting it free on my platform. I do the research, I go through the headaches, I go through the reading all night, which is exhausting sometimes, and I can give you the information, and it's free. But then what I want to say is, look, if any way you feel you can contribute to the building of this channel, even if it's somebody out there on this platform who can probably print a few shirts for me, that would be great. A few hoodies, a few merchandise, that would be cool. Or if anybody has an old camera they're not really using, I'd love to get that. Besides using the tablet, I'd also love to use the camera when I go out there, because my tablet has very small memory space. I don't want to risk going to a farm, visiting someone on his farm, recording maybe, let's say, 20-minute worth of recording, and you just get 12 minutes worth of footage, which is quite a bit wrong. And also farm visits. I know my brother Marco has come and spoken about it. He said, no, you need to go to the farms. We want to see these guys planting the chili and how the chili looks like in the fields. That one is the headache, because vehicle is not there. I'm sure the fuel prices have gone up also. So traveling to people's farms is a bit difficult. I'd love to do farm visits too. I'd love to do what African Farming does. You guys must also go check out African Farming. It's a very good YouTube channel, but they're not anymore posting videos. They just posting snippets. I think they want you to watch on television. But I think they must bring back the YouTube one also and put some content for us here on their YouTube channel. You must also watch them. They have very good videos there where they talk to South African farmers, and many things you can learn there from. If you want to start up a sugarcane farm, cattle farm, goat farm, chicken farm, you learn a lot, people that are planting and so forth. Like my dear brother Marco here, I know he's not really into the livestock business. I think every time I put a poll and I say vote between cattle and plants, he's the one probably voting for the plants, because he said sometimes we need to also talk about the planting of things, because we can't just talk about cattle. So I'd love to do what African Farming does, but that has to come now with a budget, and that's where the headache is, getting that budget. Like I said, I'm not yet monetized. I have 1,000 subscribers, but the craziest part of YouTube is, even though you get 1,000 subscribers, you don't get monetized. You need to have 1,000 subscribers, and then you need to have 4,000 view hours. So that means, Marco, go watch all my old videos. Let's get that viewership up so that thing can increase, and then we can get monetized. But I don't think it's like a lot of money. Don't think they're going to be paying me $1 million. Maybe they might pay me 1,000 rand or something a month or so, or they pay me 1,000 rand a video. So it's not really a big budget to work for. And when you do a big production, just me going, let's say, to Katima to go visit a chicken farm who's probably doing in the egg business, already that budget alone is just crazy. But what is my vision for this channel? That's something that we can one day sit down to see if people want to come on board, one day donate to this channel, whatever it is, if it's not money, if you can say, no, Mitch, I have an old camera I can give you, an old Nikon camera I can hook you up with, or I have a brand new pair, I have some old headphones that I can give you, because my old JBLs are falling apart. I've had them for a while. They're 8 years old too. Anything you want to contribute to the channel will be much appreciated to help it grow and go further. And then, as I was saying, the vision for this channel, Nduna Wengombe, is to actually just grow it so it becomes its own platform. Because look, I have pitched it to television, because I know not everybody in Namibia uses YouTube. Many of us do, but not everybody has data. The people that probably need the information out there in the rural Namibia, who needs this information on how to plant certain things, or how to breed certain cattle, or how to look at certain cattle, those people might not really have the data, or they might not really have the network to go online and to watch all these videos. They are the people that I want to touch. And I have been going to radio stations. I've been to NBC, I've been to One Africa, to pitch and to say, look, I got this YouTube channel. I believe on television it can be golden, because then we're reaching a huge audience. Because remember, TV and radio are still very big in this country. Many of them aren't really for it. They don't really want it. I'm even thinking of maybe creating an online radio. But again, online radio will just be accessible to people that have smartphones, data, and good network, which would defeat the cause. So I am pitching also to radio stations to try and get it on, but that's not moving along. I've had not meetings, I can say I've had emails which are just rejecting, and I've tried also to talk to some sponsors, GIZ, European Union, etc., all these different bodies that do the sponsorship to try and say, you know what, guys, I got this thing. Sponsor me so I can get it on television, or sponsor me so I can just take it a bit further to the people, or bring it closer to the people. And it's not forthcoming. You know, AgriBank, funny enough, of the Agricultural Bank, I approached them for a sponsorship deal. And right after I sponsored them, just a little while, maybe they were working on it, on this idea to start up their own AgriBank sessions or so. I should not be naming companies. I might get sued. So let me say this. One person did say approach the land bank, which I tried to, and they refused, or they didn't even respond to my email. And next thing I saw, they created their own thing, which I'm happy. I believe the more there is, the merrier, so we can actually get some information and people get the information they need. And then from there on, I tried to approach the agricultural stores. Many of them were not with it. One agricultural store said no. Next thing I know, they create their own YouTube channel. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel or it's probably on Apple Play Store or something, on Apple Podcasts. I think I must also take this platform of ours, I must take it away, not just on YouTube, but get it onto the cell phones. I think I must get it onto, what's that, iStore, for the, you know, put it on the podcast platforms on the cell phones. I think I must consider doing that also in the near future. Yeah, no, I think I must, but then I'll need to get good mics and stuff like that. So I will look at that, try and get some of the visual stuff also on the cell phone, so we can have a proper podcast and maybe have more. Yes, make it a podcast. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, making it a podcast now, where we can also get it onto those platforms. Because I was talking to somebody and he said, a podcast is, we hear your voice, we don't see you. And I said, yeah, I think we should do that. But then this one on YouTube, this is the main channel. This is the main goal of this channel. It has to become a network. It should not just be my one YouTube video or my one YouTube platform. I want to make it a network. I want to bring in different voices. I have so many crazy ideas that I want to do on this channel relating to just agriculture itself. There's so many things that I want to do, and I want to create another one which is not going to be based on agriculture. Probably that one will be more current affairs, political type of things, because I like that space also. But that will be in the future. This one is the main guy now. It's the main O. So this one would have to grow. Like I said, I would love to bring in people. I'd love to just create a big agricultural network where everything is sorted for, you know, from even women in the field of agriculture, latest agricultural tech, tending auctions, you know, all these things that we get onto other YouTube platforms, and actually going to visit people. You know, rather than me researching on somebody, talking about them, we go to him, or we go to him or her, and we show what they have done. Because I don't want to do what most some channels do, because I know you get certain channels that focus only on white farmers, you get certain channels that only focus on black farmers. I want to just focus on all type of farmers, whether it's in the north, whether it's down south, whether it's in the east. I want to focus on everybody. I just don't want to focus on a certain selected few, you know, southern side farmers who are in privatized lands. I want to go to the Meme Kulu there in the village. I want to go to the Himba farmer there in Kunena. I want to go to the farmers in the Zambezi, you know, to see what they're doing. I want to talk to everybody, but I also want to go into different branding and so forth. I mean, doing stuff that are part of this channel. The one thing that I am looking at, or the one thing that I've been doing research, how about telephonic interviews like you did with the stud breeders and the lady from South Africa? Yeah. No, the lady from South Africa, must Google it. I still need to get her on. I've been struggling. She's got a very busy, what do you call this? Got a busy working timetable. She's about to travel out of the country. The telephonic stuff are brilliant. That helps a lot. You know, that helps a lot. It does help a lot to be able to interview, to just call somebody to talk. But when I'm calling people locally, that's fine. At least I'm using network, I mean cell phone network. And when I'm calling somebody outside the country, I'm using, what do you call this now, WhatsApp. And now the person is not in a good place where the network is terrible. We might not be hearing them. But I think that one with Ms. Google, I might have to do I don't know if I have to do a Skype call. I don't know what exactly, but I'll have to set a date with her. Honestly, I'd love to have her here. But yeah, I'd love to have her here. But I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I just don't want Ms. Google. I want farmers, not just in Namibia. Okay, it's farming in Namibia, but, sourcing, what do you call this? Sourcing expert information from South African farmers, Zimbabwean farmers, Zambian farmers, even farmers from Botswana or farmers from Angola. It should not just be focused on other things, but main focus is Namibia. It's trying to get those farmers in this country that have done big, whether black or white, as long as they come speak truthfully on the platform. And that's what I want to do. Eventually, I want to have interviews. I want to go to those ones that are probably in Windhoek, invite them somewhere, maybe at Mug and Bean, ask them to give us a quiet corner, have my cameras, and we sit and we talk. Even have maybe a good braai on a weekend, and we do a barbecue, and we sit and we talk agriculture, and we talk about the future of farming, because agriculture does affect us all, whether you like it or not, particularly whether it's food, because everybody eats food. Come on, we all wake up, have cereal, have yogurt. Even the people that are vegan, you wake up and you eat something. It's not that you eat everything, eggs or chickens and so forth, but we all are affected because it's food. It's our food industry. And on Clubhouses where we have spoken about it, about the dependence on South Africa. Look, Namibia and South Africa, because of our shared history, we will always love and respect South Africa. Many Namibians I know consider South Africa their second home. But eventually we have to sit down and look at it and say, we must reach a point where we can produce our own food, our own cereal, our own milk. Nem Dairies came through and said, some of the milk, some of the low-fat milk is not even produced here, it's produced in South Africa. So I'm wondering if Nem Dairies is a true Namibian company, or it's just a company that has the NAM in it to just pretend to be a true Namibian company. All right, I got a guy from Brazil. Good evening, my dear brother from Brazil. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining my viewership. It's always good to have people from other parts of the world. Any questions you have, they just put them through. But put them through in English. I can't speak Portuguese. You would not get any answers from me. But yeah, I was saying, Marcos, we've had this conversation where we have spoken about the food security of this country. We can't really, it's good we trade with South Africa, but we can't be really relying on South Africa for everything. As I found out that Nem Dairies was busy bottling some of its milk in South Africa, which is unfortunate. I believe they should have been doing all that in Namibia. I don't know what's the next thing we'll hear. Maybe we might hear Rietfontein is bottling its juice in South Africa and just bringing it this side of trucks, which is unfortunate. But we have to reach to that point where Namibia can actually be food secure and we start producing our own things that we eat, and also moving away from just being a cattle farming country to actually moving to doing other fields of agriculture. I was talking to a gentleman from the Ovaherero tribe. He's a cattle farmer, and I was telling him, look, cattle farming is good. I love cattle farming as much as the next person. I love livestock farming. But we must also start engaging, getting into different fields of agriculture. We all just can't be cattle farmers from the north to the south of the country. We have to get into different fields of farming. Why don't we have a sunflower plantation in this country? It would be great if you could give weekly prices on meat and veggies for farmers to know the prices. Yeah, no, weekly prices of meat. That's just a simple Google search. But yeah, I should start doing that in my videos. I think I need to add that forum to say how much maize is going for, how much meat is going for. There is a insert that one can add. It's not a problem. But as I was saying, that we must look at that and actually look at how we can diversify the agricultural sector, because most of the cooking oil here, even though we bottle cooking oil here, I think most of that sunflowers are coming from South Africa, and this is why the price of cooking oil has gone up. Sugar, the Namibian sugar, and I remember I was, as a Namibian, you always pridefully like, yeah, we have a marathon sugar, we produce it, we have our own sugar here. Just to realize that we don't even have a sugarcane plantation in any part of the country. The sugar that we have is coming from outside South Africa most of the time, all Lesotho, and it just gets refined in this country. So we are sitting with problems. There is many opportunities for us to get into, because I'm always asking myself, the Tsumeb area, Grootfontein, Otavi, Rundu, not Rundu, Kavango, Zambezi. You're telling me we can't set up a sugarcane plantation in those regions. we could. I just feel people don't want to. I think what has happened is just the same way like with the cell phone business. People have outsourced the assembling and the parts and whatnot to other countries. Maybe it's cheaper to buy ready produced sugarcane in South Africa than what it will be to buy from here. But I think we must reach that point where we can produce these things locally. Everything we eat needs to be produced in Namibia. And we must also be smart. And that's another thing. I was talking to my sister Ross, where we were like, I was telling Ross and I was telling my sister Ross, like, I'd love to create a platform I'd love to create a subordinate to this channel, which is still part of the channel, but a program on its own, where we actually investigate some of this made in Namibia products, because you'll be shocked to find out that this so-called made in Namibia product is not really produced and made in this country. Some of them are actually brought in from South Africa, and I just removed from the original package, then put in a different package with a made in Namibia product. You'll be quite shocked when you find out what products are 100% Namibian made and not 100% Namibian made. That's the problem we have here. So, hey, there are big plans for the channel. Big plans, big plans, big plans. Eventually, everything that I've said here will come into fruition one day, and then I'll be able to take a backseat and just be a director in the background. But yeah, not yet. Maybe start allowing other people and anybody out there who would love to join the family and just be part of the family, maybe coming in whatever capacity you can. You're always welcome. And like I've said, I've always opened up myself up to ideas, just like what my dear brother Marcos just said, that I must consider giving the weekly prices of grain, feed and food in the country, which would be a good thing. And I'm actually trying to get into the agri processing business, Marco. Maybe you know where to link me up there. I'm trying to start up something in the agri-processing business because I see we have a lack of agri-processing companies in this country. I have mine already registered. It's just funding. Funding is a nightmare. I wish I was part of that people that stole $4 million US from the president of South Africa's farm. I could have had my company up and running. But I know that has been making trends. But yeah, that's what I'd love to do, diversify. Just like how MacG Podcast and Show, he has his Grand Georgian, DJ Sibu with his Virtual Kuku, he has his Mo Fire energy drink. It's diversifying the portfolio. And if I can't get sponsorship, so I can be able to sponsor myself, by at least saying I have this side hustle, it's bringing in money, I can at least take this side hustle and put it back into the business. This is why I'm trying to get back into the farming business, get back into farming cattle or planting, so I can utilize the proceeds from that to come and pump life into this, give it what it needs, because I know for a fact that moving forward, few years from now, maybe even before the end of this year, it's going to become a lot for me. I can't anymore do everything on my own. It's going to require other voices, other opinions, people to run the show on its own. Because I always sit down and say, with Ross, we had that conversation with my sister Ross, where we said, what will happen to our channels if we are no more around? And she said, it's true, né? We must probably consider trying to make them their own entities. And I said, that's what I'm trying to do with this Nduna Ngombe. The day I'm not around, that it can still do what it can do, that it still pushes. Like Shona Ferguson, where they said the show must go on. So that's what I would love for this platform, for it to have a life of its own. Even when I'm no more around, it can still do what it has to do. But that's for the future, man. That's my ideas for the next 5 to 6 years, what I want to do with this platform. And fortunately enough, I've created something that is mine. It's 100% owned by me. I don't have any directors to tell me, you can't say this, don't talk about this person, don't talk about that company. I can talk about whoever here, as long as I'm not being mean and vile to get sued. But I can talk about whoever here. And any farmer who's out there in the comment section or watching this live has any product that they'd love to advertise or market, you guys can hit me up. I can share my private number and you guys can hit me up on WhatsApp and share your products that you want to share, or products you want to put out there, or probably potential auctions. If it's auctions, wherever it is, just hit me up, even in the comment section, and I can give you my number. I don't want to blur it out here on YouTube because there are interesting people out there. So I don't know, you never know who's watching. So you must always protect your personal information, because you don't want it to be used for something else. So what I'm saying is, if you have any products or you need me to come and talk at, at the Farmers Day agricultural show or whatever, you can hit me up in the comment section. I'll respond, man. I read all my comments. My tablet, my cell phone, and so far are all linked to my to my channel, so they always keep me updated. You know, they keep me updated. And youth involvement in agriculture, I'm big for it. But I always tell myself that if we want to get involved, we must at least educate ourselves. We must at least know what we're getting ourselves into. We can't just get into something unknown. Like you said, Marcos, we can't want to fly. We can't want to fly and we build the plane as we fly it. That should not be the case in agriculture. We need to already build the plane before it even takes off. So we need to get an understanding of what's going on in the sector. What are the, as I would always say in English, that what are the tokolosses, the little nightmarish creatures we're going to meet in the agricultural sector. And many of us don't really take that into consideration. I speak to some South African farmers. One guy tells me he spent 200,000, he bought chickens. He thought he was buying female chickens, but he ended up buying male roosters. And you had already paid this money. And the person who sold them to you, what some of these guys do, they actually paint the male chickens. I think the male chicks are a bit white, they whitish in color or so, and then this person was painting them yellowish so they can start looking yellow. And you think you're buying the females, but you're buying males. So those are the type of people you meet in the farming sector. You meet people who would sell you cattle and you tell you this cow are good for milk, just to go find out later that it's actually good for meat. So that's why I created the platform, to just bring that information, share the different breeds of cattle, share the different breeds of chicken, just to give you at least an insight. So when you step out there into the world, you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting yourself into, you know what battles are awaiting you, and what battles are awaiting you that you need to fight, and things you need to overcome, and what does it take to be a farmer. Because look, I can speak from a person who's been in the business for 11 years. I'm not active right now in the business. I'm bringing in my experience. I'll call in guys and girls who probably have better knowledge than me in it, who have done better than me. And I can always have them here and they can tell their stories. And that's what I want. I want a platform where farmers can speak openly and truthfully about their stories, you know, whether they bought a farm, their first farm was foreclosed by the bank, their second farm was again repossessed by the bank, their third farm was the one they actually got right. They lost land they lost money in the agricultural sector. You know, getting those true stories, those, you would say juicy stories, but I'd say the true stories. So we just know better when we get into this thing, what we're getting ourselves into as the future generation, because we are going to inherit the land, we're going to inherit the country, and we need to know what we're getting ourselves into moving forward. So yeah, man, this is why I just wanted to do this video, just to tell you guys where I want to go of this channel. And also, I see people have left, but just to say thank you very much, guys, for being part of the journey, man. Being part of this journey. It's been a fun journey. I've met a lot of people. I've made contacts. I've made relationships with people, and it's been fun. You know, it's at least comforting knowing that one of the few people that have been supporting me is my sister Ross. The rest, I haven't really been getting that big support from my family, because, you know, YouTube is not really that big in Namibia. So people will be like, get off this thing, you know, get off this thing, get a job, get a proper 9 to 5. This thing don't pay anything. But I do it for the love of it, man. I really do it for the love of it. I see my a good guy here, Anton Bowman, came in and said, I appreciate your content and insight. It aligns with the cattle farmers. That's why I deal with here in my part of America. Thanks. Oh, you're in the state, Anton. I really thought you were in South Africa. I don't know. I thought you were an African farmer. But no, it's great to hear that I got subscribers in Africa. You know, it's I mean, in the States. I actually have a couple that are in the States, and it's mostly Namibians that are that side. So it really just makes you sit down a bit and just appreciate that the little you're doing here on YouTube is actually being seen all over the world, and you're getting to talk to people that are in the States. Which part of the States are you, my dear brother Anton? Are you in, which part are you in? Which sphere of America are you in, my dear brother? Which part? Because I know the Mexicans or the South Americans don't like you guys saying I'm from America, because they say the entire continent is America. So which part of North America are you from? Are you in Texas? San Antonio, or where are you in? Which part of Texas are you in, my dear brother? Well, are you doing cattle farming? I see in Texas, but not all of it. I know in most parts of Texas, you guys do love those longhorned cattle. I never really understood, but you guys love those. Dallas, yeah, that's the capital, right? Not yeah, Dallas is the capital because of the American football team, the Dallas Cowboys. That's how I know about Texas and a lot of media we consume this side of Africa. Watch a lot of television, movies. They always talk about that and the Alamo and all those things. So yeah. So what are you? Are you farming cattle, Anton, or what exactly are you doing? Are you a cattle farmer or are you planting? Because I know in Texas they like the longhorn, as they call them, the longhorns. Interesting breed of cattle. I really don't enjoy animals so far. I'm terrified of injuries and so forth. I've seen a number of people get hurt. Funny enough, this is a cup, right? It's a cup I made from one of my cows. What happened was we were working her. We were busy. What are we doing? We're busy treating ticks and so forth and ailments. And she hit her horn on our metal crash pan, and the horn came off. So this is the outside of the horn. As you can see, it's hollow inside. So the bony part of the horn stayed on her. So the bone of the horn was actually exposed. So this is actually one of my own cows. This was my cow's horn that broke off. And I decided to make it a cup. I varnished it. I put a wire on it. I can drink coffee and beer out of it, but people get freaked out. It's Africa, so people think it's witchcraft. So this is my little horn, my souvenir from my farming years. The one thing that I got from my cattle when I was still farming them. She was a good cow. She gave lots of calves, this one. Lots of calves and had lots of milk. So I did really enjoy my years being a cattle, as you'd say in your country, Anthony, you'd say, I was a cowboy for a while. I was a cowboy. Those are some of the souvenirs from raising cattle. It's shocking that I'd never kept some of the skins, eh? No, novice. I have a friend that have a Hereford, Angus, and Brahman. Ah, okay. So you're just interested. You're just the guy who enjoys the agri sector, which is a good thing. Herefords are good. Well, Angus, the black ones, I know Americans, you guys love the black Angus. You actually caused the Simmental Society to produce black Simmentals, which were unique to America and Canada. So, yeah, Herefords are brilliant. Brahman, of course, you guys have to farm Brahman. That's your cattle. You guys created it. It's a great breed. It's very popular here in Namibia. It's a very popular breed. I think it's part of our, if I have to say top 5, it has to probably be top number 2 when it comes to the cattle industry here. Many farmers breed Brahman cattle, white, red. I even saw one guy starting to experiment with some Angus to produce black-colored Brahmans, more pigment, more of their dark pigment. So they're a huge thing here. They're a huge thing. South Africa, they're big there, but in South Africa they have more Bosmara. They're Bosmara crazy there. That's why Bosmara cattle are getting over 2 million rand. You can convert it into USD. I think it'll be a bit lower, but they're busy making big money this side because South Africans love their Bosmara cattle. It's just how they roll. So yeah, it's an interesting time in the agricultural sector right now with everything becoming automated. It's exciting times, man. I got to actually go see a demonstration of this autonomous driving tractors. Great stuff, but I think they'll be expensive for us, eh? Because if we have to get those autonomous driving tractors, utilizing our cell phones, throwing out the plowing pattern and so forth, we'll have to improve our data and our internet signals and our cell phone signals in this country. And I'm sure many Namibians would know that there are parts of the country where you have to climb onto a tree just to be able to get a cell phone call. So those are things that we have to look at. We have to build. We have to build. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to take you guys with me on their journey and go show you these things. But like I said, I need to buy the equipment. I'm struggling with equipment. I had a look at cameras this past weekend. Cameras are expensive in Namibia. At one point, I saw a camera going for $7,000. One went for 10. And this are cameras with everything. And I need that because I need to be going outwards and I need to hit the farms, which I'm planning to do in the future. Or probably I utilize wherever I'm going to farm, I'd utilize mine. But I'm sure you guys are getting tired of just seeing me. You probably want to see other faces. And that's what I'm trying to give you guys. But hey, as I said, working it from a zero budget, it's a lot of work, but it's great to have interactions and getting guys like Yeah, cameras are crazy, Ross. Particularly the fact that you had a beautiful camera and someone stole it. My heart still pains about that camera. We should have it. I need a camera to get a second-hand one. But then the second-hand one, Ross, is you see these guys that sell us the second-hand cameras are also very smart. I went to Cash Converters. That camera is 5,000 Namibian dollars there, but they don't come with a memory card. So they have that memory SD card. And now with the new laptops we're getting, the newer version of laptops, they don't have that SD slots anymore. Now you have to buy that SD slot separately. And not just that, Ross, talking about cameras, I also need to get a new laptop. Oof. My current HP laptop is brilliant. It does good work for me, but when you are creating content, you need something with some good editing software on it. Very brilliant, strong editing software. Because what I've noticed with my editing software in my current laptop, I don't think they work well together, because I would see sometimes I would see sometimes that my laptop actually freezes. The video would be running like this, but the sound would be coming out very slow. And someone told me it's because the laptop and the software, the editing software, aren't really talking to each other that well. Hey, Becky Zulu. I was just talking about you to say that Becky Zulu is part of the reason why I kept the channel running, because he was one of the few people, when I just had a very small subscriber base, he was coming through asking me questions, asking me to do videos on this, do videos on that, do videos on that. And then he's part of the reason many of you guys have to thank him, eh? You have to thank him. You have to really thank him. There are some good free ones that I have on my Dell, but I won't lie, a Mac is the dream. Ross, we can't afford the Apple laptop yet. We can dream, but we can't afford it. I know it has very good editing software, but I'm using an old HP, one of those HPs that had the big ones, because after that one, all of them started getting smaller. That had the first Windows 10 on it. So, like I said, sometimes the network, sometimes the editing software and the computer's internals don't play well together. You'd see sometimes I'm editing a video, the sound doesn't come out. The video is running, but one word is being repeated 5 times. So it's exhausting sometimes, eh? Yeah, so it's very difficult being a content creator. But Becky Zulu, my brother, thank you very much, eh? It's been a journey, my dear brother. It's been a journey. I remember when you subscribed to my channel, and I remember you always asking so many questions. And it's good to have different voices. Well, I was even telling my sister Ross Limbo here in the comment section that, funny enough, I'm actually having more South African subscribers. Becky, are you in Durban, man? I see what's happening in Durban. Really, my heart, my prayers are going out to you guys. My thoughts and prayers are with you guys, man. It's terrible what's happening that side. I've been watching, we've been following. It's terrible with the flooding. I hope you're safe that side, because I haven't been seeing you in the comments. So I've been thinking, I hope the guy hasn't been caught in the eye of the storm in Durban there, what's been happening. So it's good to see you at least come through and congratulate the guy. At least it tells me you're still there. You're still there, my dear Lee. And it's good to engage. But guys, I'm thinking we must also consider doing some Skype meetings sometimes, just so I see some of you guys, so we can communicate. Here on YouTube, unfortunately, I can't really see you guys. I can't have you guys ask questions, but at least I can see some of your comments. But it'd be good to where I can actually see you guys face to face, even doing a what do you call this, a Microsoft Team meeting. That would be great, man, where we can actually engage and talk, where I could share the link and we could one day meet and talk, so I can see you guys, eh? Becky, I'm still waiting on my invitation to South Africa there, my brother, to come and see what it is you are doing that side, eh? I want to come see your crawls and stuff. And you said you're going to invite me to a farmer's day there where I have to come talk because I have following. So I wonder if you're doing my marketing well there in South Africa, Becky. I need to be big right now. I need to be 100,000 already. I need that YouTube plaque. That's what I'd want. That'll be the cherry on the cake. But it's gonna take time. But Ross, yeah, the Mac laptop, that's gonna take time. That is gonna take time. That laptop, I think they're going 14,000 Namibia. Anything Apple is a bit expensive. Even the normal Dell laptops. And what about an Acer laptop? I'm in Newcastle, so unfortunately, what happened in Durban there is this new wave of youth wanting to take part in farming sector. Yeah. No, Becky, you must hit me up, my brother. We must exchange numbers. Yeah, you need to invite me, but you must direct them to me. You must direct them to my channel. Let's get that subscription base up there, my dear brother, because it'll be good for me to get more eyes on this, but it'll be good for people to get information, so they get into this thing and don't make the mistakes. But it's good to hear you in Newcastle, and you're not really in eThekwini, which is now Durban itself, the Durban itself, which is getting flooded and so forth. It's good. It's good to see. Things are starting to, you're not in the eye of danger, but I'm sure some of my subscribers, because there's another one here I haven't seen. I think he might be living in the town of Durban. I remember he was telling me about the indigenous goats. I don't know if it is you, Becky, but I think it's another gentleman. So it's good. It's good to see young people are interested to get into the farming. Hope they're not getting to the farming because they saw the video of the Bosmara going for 2 million and now they want to get in because they think it's going to come that easy. It's a lot of hard work. You know this, Becky. I know this. Every person who's got into the agricultural business knows this. The ones who are lucky, who were able to make 2 million within the first year of farming, I believe are those that already had 2 million on them. People who probably could hire, employ, get the best out of whatever they had at that time. So, yeah, no, but it's good to hear from you, Becky. You must hit me up in the comment section. We exchange numbers, we engage. So one day I can come to Newcastle. The only thing I know of Newcastle is it's beautiful, but I heard that what's the one thing I saw about Newcastle? I was told it's a beautiful place, but some Zulu guys don't play there. Mchoncho is big that side. That's what I was told of Newcastle. I haven't been, but that's what I was told when I'm engaging with some South Africans. They even tell you, hey, Newcastle is an interesting place. It's beautiful, but you must have your eyes open. The guys don't play in Newcastle. They'll deal with you very fast. They'll fast trap you. You know, but it's good to hear you good. It's good to hear you good, and thanks for coming through to come congratulate me on the hard work on getting 1,000. That's good, but we need to get the watch hours up so we get a YouTube partnership. We want to change it, man. We don't want to come here. I don't want to make. I could have done what MacG is doing, come talk about celebrities, talk bad about them. Yeah, the celebrities, talking about. And I love MacG. I watch his podcast, but I could have done that. But I refused. I refused. I said, let's do an agricultural thing because that's what I enjoy. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing it. I've been true to myself for 8 years now, and it's been catching. I'm getting known as the farmer guy in Namibia. But I keep on telling people that I'm the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia, and people don't believe me. But I think now they'll start believing me because that 1,000 Yana next to me shows people that it's a serious channel. I'm sure those that used to look at me and say it's a Popeye channel, now I understand that I'm not playing Popeyes here. Things are what they say, Becky, Zakala now, Zakala. But there's not yet any payment, but we're a big deal now. Now I'm a big deal. They must talk nicely to me. You see, so yeah. Yeah, no, Bex, you must hit me up though. I'd love to come to Newcastle, have a conversation, or even if I can come physically, even hitting me up on a Skype call, talking to the people that want to get into the farming business. We must consider getting into it because I always say this, even here in Namibia, a country that can't produce what it eats is always going to be a slave to the country that produces its food. And I've always given examples, even in spaces, that if we as Namibia cannot produce our food, let's say, for example, just argument's sake, the South African government decides they want to overthrow the Namibian government. They could do it very simply. And how could they do that? By starving us, by not letting us have our food, by not letting us have our cereal. And what that would lead to, it would lead to the people of Namibia themselves removing the government itself. So this is why you need to be able to produce food. I don't know if I have any Zimbabwean subscribers. I think I have a couple of them. I've been telling them they must organize for me a farm there in Zimbabwe, but they always just laugh at me because it's got some good stuff. It's got some good stuff. But yeah, it's been a journey back. It's good to hear from you, my dear brother. It's always good to hear from you. And for everybody that was on my live, at one point we had like 7 views, which is small because I have 1,000 subscribers. I thought I'd have 1,000 people, but I think we must just start setting them properly. So one person told me I must consider doing my YouTube vlogs live. But then I said, eish, playing around with the live thing. It's live this side. You are trying to present what you are doing. And now you can spell a word and people are hearing me butcher it, butcher it, and laughing at a person. So I prefer to record it, but I'll consider doing maybe what we can do in future is when we do interviews with people, like when I'm doing a telephonic interview of somebody, we can do live, we can go live for that, but I need to probably just alert you guys a day before. Let's say if the interview is going to be on a Monday, I'll let you guys on during the weekend on a Friday already, so you can prepare and set your time so you can watch it. So I'll try and do live for that one. That one I'd love to go live for interviews and so forth, so you guys can watch them. But yeah, that's the future plans. Those are future plans. Those what I want to do. And I said this is just the starting of the Induna Wengombe production house. There are other things that I want to do. There are a couple of shows that I have spoken to with my sister here who's on the live watching, Ross Limbo. There are a couple of things that I've spoken to about that I want to do. And yeah, it takes one leap of faith, and sooner or later, who knows, the deals will follow me. I don't need to go look for them. They'll probably come after me sooner or later, but would love to get those deals. And it would have to be deals that make sense to me, not deals that that I'm no more in charge of. That would be terrible, because I still want to keep in charge of this thing. I don't want someone to come in with his money and be like, here, I'm giving 100,000. I want you to do ABCD and don't talk about these people. I wouldn't want that. I would want to still decide what is supposed to happen. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, as I said on my channel, Nduna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle, my name, of course, Mitchell Mutumba Simata, and I am signing out and saying thank you very much to everybody that came through on this live. We will try to do more lives in future. I think I must consider doing more lives and probably letting you guys know we're going to have a live on this day. And probably get to a situation where we can get more comments and reading out all these comments and everything people are asking and answering you guys' questions. Because in the next one, I'd love Becky. Next time, come a bit early, my dear brother. Come hit me with questions. Ross, Marcos gave some suggestions which are very good. I will take that into consideration and actually start implementing them at the end of the video. That is something that we can do. Definitely more lives. Enjoy your evening. Yep, we will consider more lives. You know, meeting guys like Anthony Bowman. You know, people like that, and hearing from my dear brother Becky. Becky, you must hit me up though in the comment section so you and I can exchange numbers, you know, so we can see what we can do future for the youth in Newcastle want to get into farming. If they would need me to do a Skype call with you, we can do that. That's something that can be arranged, and we can talk about it and share information with them. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to say bye for now. Have a good night, guys. Bye.